What's up, vinyl community? Cheers. Happy New Year. We're back. Come on, my dog wants to say what's up. All right. So, Mo, you okay? She's toes that. All right, she's back. She's back. All right, there we go. All right. So, hope everyone's doing well. I see everyone always say like and subscribe. If you enjoy watching my channel, please subscribe. But I don't want you to subscribe to my channel just because I'm bumping numbers. If you enjoy it, subscribe. But I feel like sometimes people are like, subscribe to my shit. I'm like, okay. But either way, I just do this for fun. You know what I mean? So, do whatever you feel like. So, records are still coming out. I feel like I've been collecting since I was a little kid. So I haven't done a record room, but I'll show you. Just been trying to, buy a little less throughout this last year. The end of 2022 or most of 2022. Was able to somewhat achieve that goal. So, but still was plucking some here and there that if it was something I really wanted, was going to go get it. So, there's some stuff I feel like I could show, because it's been a minute, but what I am going to show is what I've got playing in the background right now. It's Marcus King. I've had this one for a while. I got it when it first came out because I really enjoy his band. I couldn't find any of the Marcus King band or whatever on vinyl. So I was like, I'll get his solo stuff. Well, the solo stuff, quite a bit different. So what I kind of wanted at that time, this really wasn't it, but it was good. I remember thinking like, wow, the recording quality is really good. I'm pretty sure it's all analog. The guy from the Black Keys produced this, Dan Arabach, and just a good sounding record. But I really didn't dig deep into it, so to speak. So every now and then I've been popping it in, and it's a great album. I highly recommend it. Like today, I realized, like, wow, I really enjoyed this record. I'm glad I got it. It just kind of took a while, especially when you're getting so many records. I kind of listened to it, liked like one or two songs that stood out, kind of got buried. But it's all, the cool thing is, and sometimes you forget about shit, but it's always good to pull up a flashlight and start digging around, see what you forgot about. And anyways, great record. And hopefully I got it turned down low enough and I'm rambling along loud enough that it doesn't get flagged or anything. So, what other cool... Like I said, I got a small stack, but I'm just going to talk about a couple, try to keep this short and sweet. Black Friday happened, months ago, but this was one I was super stoked to get. The Jazz Dispensary. Alright, this is my third one. So it's kind of a little late to the game. I would see them back in the day on Black Friday and be like, what the hell are these? What music is it? I knew Jazz Dispensary, but I didn't know that these are comps that are fire. I thought it was just like some flashy thing that, I just really didn't know. My bad for, not YouTubing it or something, trying to give it a listen. But one day I was in a record store, my local spot, and he was playing one of the comps, and I was like, wow, why have I been slipping up? And he's like, yeah, I don't know why. But I was able to start I got that one, like I said, so this is the third one. This one I think is my favorite out of all three right now. It's called Haunted High. Cool name. When I first got the album cover, I was like, show it to you, for real. I was kind of disappointed because all the other album covers are really trippy. But then after listening to it and getting the vibe of the record, this is a great album cover. It's got the little silver wolf, lone wolf right here. Just some cool watercolor artwork. A little more simple than the last few. The last two that I have, at least. I could have got one of the ones before, but I haven't looked in a while. But it was a little pricey. But it wasn't. But anyways, didn't go for it. But anyways, this I gotta say is my favorite. It reminds me of a lot of the trippy stuff I like on EM. I'm gonna forget the name of the label right now. not EMI. Is it EMI? I don't know why I'm also drawing a blank here. So, it's ECM. I'm so bad. Okay, sorry about that one. It's been a minute. Anyways, ECM. It reminds me of all the trippy stuff on the ECM label. EMI, I knew it wasn't that, but anyways. So, if you kind of like that trippy, slow stuff with long, like, saxophone melodies, horn melodies, kind of a little slow funk, Carlos Santana plays on one of the tracks. There's a bunch of good musicians, but a guitar player you just can recognize his playing so easily. I didn't even realize there was a blue wolf on the back. I think I'm just realizing this now. And so anyways, pretty cool. The album, I wish it would have came with a, well, it's a cool sleeve, but this is all they gave you, so it's kind of a rough sleeve, but you give a shit. Cool color, cool layout. What I have been noticing about the records I've been getting lately is they haven't been warped. It seems like somebody, I don't know if it's just a coincidence, but for a while, almost every record I was getting, it seemed like, was almost every other record was warped. It seemed like, I got to a point, as long as it plays, I don't give a shit, and it's not too warped, but my record store was cool enough where they would let me swap shit out until I found one that was perfect, or the best out of the batch. But anyways, lately, you know, hopefully it's not a coincidence, and they have been trying to, you know, check them out a little bit, make sure it's, you know, quality check is, you know, a little better. So, anyways, then a while back, I have another stereo with a CD player. That's like a bigger stereo with a CD player and a cassette tape player. So, in this system that I mainly listen to, just had a record player, a turntable to it. So I finally hooked up a CD player and a cassette player in here, you know, last year sometime, and just been bumping a lot of my old CDs that, again, I didn't forget about them, but I just haven't listened to them in a long time. So, you know, re-embracing some of these old memories. So, this is a helmet I bought when I first, 10 years ago, when I first moved out here, out in Central Texas. This helmet, when I got it, again, I was like, man, not too much like their old stuff, but still pretty good. So a while back, started listening to it again. If you don't have this helmet album, it's called Monochrome, and you know what? It's worthy. Check out the song 6 called Money Shot. It's definitely like the old style, and there's a handful of songs on here that definitely old helmet, but then you can see the direction the band was kind of going after Meantime and Betty, which those are like the two best albums, or the two main albums I really only listened to. But you know what? This is a cool album. The recording's good. The snare sounds good because it seems like Helmet always had a really unique sounding drums, a guitar, the vocals. They're just a cool band. It seemed like back in the 90s, ramble on here for you guys. It seemed like now there's a lot of bands. There always has been, and it's awesome. I don't want to complain about that. But I like it when, if you're all the same genre, I want your tone to be different. You know, I want you each to have your own sound if you can. And, you know, I'm being a hypocrite. I play in a skate punk band, and we're influenced by, you know, a lot of these punk bands we listened to when we were younger. But, so it kind of happens. But we try to at least somewhat add our own little twist to it. But we're old, you know what I mean? So it just, and I still like it when, you know, just your own sound. You don't have to use the same amp. You don't have to use the same guitar. And again, I've done all that, so I'm not judging anyone for doing that. I like it when just to hear the difference, like Helmet. I guess you would categorize them as a heavy metal band back in the day. But then you could put like, Megadeth was definitely thrash, but I would have, as a young kid, I would have just put them in the heavy metal category. But their tone was way different. You know what I mean? And then just the bands back in the day, like Slayer, their overdrive sound to the guitars was different than Helmet and Megadeth and Metallica. You know, and then Suicidal Tendencies even had more of a fuzzy distortion sound. So like on their albums that when they were full metal. So you know, listening to some of these old albums, what I really appreciate is just how each band had a unique tone to their sound. And so like Megadeth, Metallica, we're in the same band. He came from Metallica, but even when he branched off, you know, definitely some similarities here. But Megadeth tone I can hear right away, and even if you Megadeth was doing a Metallica song, I mean, it's Megadeth. You would know the tone immediately. And same from Metallica's older first like 5 albums. Um, their tone kind of always evolved a little more extreme than Megadeth, which is cool. When I was younger, I didn't appreciate that. I'm like, whether I didn't get into Load and Reload and that stuff so much, so I never got them or anything. But now, you know, I'm like, hell yeah, it's cool. At least they kept playing. Whatever keeps you playing. Fuck, if it takes you to a different genre that weren't normally doing, it's fucking awesome. So but I get it when you're a fan, especially when you're a young fan, you're really expecting some of the last album that you really liked into this new, at least some of that style or some of the riffs, similar riffs. But anyways, my main point is just having your own sound if you can. If you know what I mean, but it's usually you got to start. Sometimes to start somewhere, you got to imitate something a little bit, and that's fine. It doesn't really matter as long as you're having fun. And at least giving props to the person you bought your influence from. But I haven't heard anybody trying to say, "Oh, this is my sound," because there's some, we're all influenced by somebody. But yeah, ramble on tone for a while. If you watch my channel, I'm all over the map. I'm gonna keep that way. And I'm gonna some more guitar videos for you guys, because I do, go check me out on Instagram if you want. I'm called Dope Things About Music, but I post a lot of more guitar videos on there, or try to at least. And I am on TikTok under just Time Miles Guitar. So go trip out on that if you aren't on that horrible app. But just as long as you're disciplined, you know, a lot of my favorite guitar players on there. So strangely enough, but who cares? I can promote yourself as much as possible, I guess. But anyways, what else I got going on? I've been somehow so. As a young kid, my dad wore watches, so I always wore a watch, had a watch or two, just always how I rolled. One of a watch I had when I was like 19, one of my friends stepped on it. I don't know if this guy was really a good friend, but like an associate that would come to our house sometimes. Anyways, somehow my watch was on the floor, didn't realize it. Homie walked in, stepped on the watch. I was like, whoa, ouch. Broke the crystal, but I saved this watch for freaking 20 years, and I was able to get it repaired, fully up and running again. And it wasn't some super expensive watch, but for me as a young kid, it was like I went to a jewelry store and bought this cool watch that was kinetic energy. It doesn't, it's not an automatic watch, but it, you move it around and it creates electricity and stores in a little fucking capacitor. So anyways, but as a 19-year-old, I was like, whoa, that's some super technology, watch. So I saved it. Never thought I could get it fixed until recently. I was like, I wonder if I can. Was able to. It's pretty cool. It's fucking up and running. So since my phone spies on me, like every one of our phones does, it started throwing watch videos at me. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, it cracks me up because the vinyl community, well, we have a cousin, or maybe like a second cousin. I would call it the watch community. Definitely similar vibe, totally different. I can't even name any of the channels off the top of my head. I just watched like 2 or 3, but one of the most recent videos I watched was like all like 20 different channels in one channel talking about their favorite watch of 2022. It was cracking me. It was very similar. Like you could have just traded them showing their watch and put a fucking record in their hand. It would have sounded very similar. So, anyways, it was cracking me up how like, it's funny what your phone fucking presents to you. Here's some watch videos. So anyways, cracking me up. Any of you guys have a watch or two? Fucking yay, nay? Anyways, I like the Casio watches. Always, when I was a kid, never would, like, well, I would fuck a watch up as a kid because I'm just banching around. And anytime I had a watch, it would just break pretty fast. But I would try to, sometimes. But the Casio, those are out. I mean, I was a little. The fucking food stamp kid. The Casio was out of the budget. You know what I mean? But I always admired him. You know what I mean? I remember there was this one kid back in the day. They're like James, I think his name was. He would always get a new Casio at the beginning of each school year, and like he'd be like all like, "What's up?" And it was the calculator watch every year. It would be like a new, that fucker would be beat down because he was like fucking trying to ace every test. Oh, it's funny that was like we thought we were like if you had the calculator watch you could you could cheat on a math test. It's funny how shit AI let's just go there. Fucking this chat GPT thing fucking for all you know, this isn't real. This is chat GPT. I just typed fucking this isn't it didn't make me look cooler like the other AI apps do apparently, but it just kept me normal. That's how good this fucking chat GPT is. And it's just spitting out, just doing some topics, throwing out there for you. Is that the Terminator? Is that we thought it was going to be some scary ass fucking Arnold motherfucker, but no, it's some fucking shitty app. Fucking yeah, basically like an app, right? Fucking program or some shit that you can just cheat on everything with now. And this is like a prototype. They said the next version is going to be even a lot. It's just going to because they could just now apparently probably put the old version and be like, hey, what should we do next to make you better? And it's like, well, fucking give us some Twinkies on the weekends, I have no idea. Anyways, keep this video under 20 minutes. Just drinking coffee, hanging out. I mean, we got spy balloons going on now. What? Okay. UFO shit going on? Fucking, UAPs? Like, that's a euphemism for fucking UFO? Because it doesn't make you seem so fucking... What? Okay, you just gotta turn it all off. I'm serious. You're thinking... I got a VCR now. I've gone old school. I'm like that fucking... What's the fucking movie... Not The Faculty... Disturbing Behavior. The weird janitor who was just like with the shortwave radio, but he knew what the fuck was going on. I feel like that at this age. Does anyone else relate to that? Fucking no. But at least the janitor saved the day. You know what I mean? Fucking who knows? Well, anyways, all right. If any of you who have watched my episodes are like, where's your, did you kill your plant? No, my plant's still alive. It's over there, getting some sunlight. I got this cool little lantern. I got 2 of them on Marketplace. Actually got 2 of these and a vintage oil lantern with like a little beat up little one that has a bunch of missing stuff on it. Anyways, looking at my hummingbird feeder. But, so I had to move the plant to put this here to kind of create my little fucking light station area. Yeah. And I don't know if I mentioned, but that maybe I did do a video about it. I don't think so actually. So many months ago, I was playing my pink burly telly style Telecaster, whatever you want to call it. Basically my guitar I've been playing the most for the last 4 years. I put my guitar at the edge of my amp and I imitate Jimi Hendrix. Fucking hypocrite over here. So, but people know I love Hendrix. But I was doing my Hendrix wannabe bit, and when I pulled my guitar back up to put on the strap back on, it clipped the edge of the speaker cabinet, clipped the edge of the nut on my guitar, right there at the headstock, and just snapped the nut backwards and cracked it in half. Luckily, I still finished the last song out. So I didn't look like a complete moron, but I sounded like one for a tad bit. The guitar needed to have that replaced. I tried thinking maybe the strings would hold the nut down to play another gig with it. I tried. No, it was like snapping strings right and left. So, anyways, so when I took that one in, I was like right on. So I took in a couple other babies that needed some love, and this is my Jagmaster. This was like one of my first guitars I got. Was a teenager, and was getting fitted for a tuxedo for a wedding, and there was a guitar store close to this tuxedo store or whatever. Wandered in there, seen this beaut, who was a guitar like Kurt Cobain would play, and what they had in Red Hot Chili Peppers, Under the Bridge. So, anyways, got her all dialed in. Whew. So got my pink one. My pink one plays way better. Oh man. So then I took this one and I took another Burley guitar I have that has different pickups than the other one. One has bare knuckle pickups, and then my other one has Don Mayer pickups. But those Don both sound amazing. But man, when the guitar sounding to its full potential, whew, I'll do a video and you plug this guitar in it. It sounds so good and plays so nice that you can't believe it plays. It feels so good. You're like, I'm not gonna cry right now, but after each time, if I thought about it long enough, I'd get the little telly tear, Telecaster tear, because like they all sound different, even if it's the same pickups. Each one's gonna sound a little different, but with different pickups. They all got the twang, but there's this bite that you want, that you're after, because you've heard some of the mentors some of the telly gods you listen to get that Telecaster. Just there's a bite that cuts through, and it's not even you. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what pedals you buy. They're not gonna help that happen. It has to come from the amp and a lot of your attack, but there's a certain sweet spot. Because I have a USA Telecaster. It was like my first baby, and she sounds good. She got the twang, but she don't got the bite. And I was always like, what the fuck? Even I thought maybe, was it me? And I plugged her back in and it still doesn't got the bite, but it's got the twang. But these Burley guitars they got the bite. What's crazy, this one's got the bite now because it got dialed in. So maybe I just need to get my American one dialed in. But she was my first love. I played the shit out of her to where I wore out some of the body, like it was just getting wore out quick. You know what I mean? But it has a real thick finish on it. I want to say it was wearing out quick, but it was like the first guitar where I was like, oh wow, it's getting relic on its own, because it was brand new when I got it. It was used, but it was brand new looking when I got it. So anyways, that's enough ramble on for you guys. I haven't been on here for a while. And like I said, this is like podcast format. Even though I'm not interviewing anybody, just do my fucking like Bill Burr rants about shit. Yeah? Can you relate? If you enjoy, you just keep watching it. If you just want a section, just watch 2 minutes and get out. I'll still probably get that viewpoint, Not that I give a shit, but, you know what I mean? It's going to help me make that big bucks, you know what I mean? Fucking on YouTube, Imagine, we'll just keep going. My coffee's almost done, so we got like 2 more minutes. It really, when we were young, would the smartphone have made us smarter? It's funny that, I don't know. I think, realistically, if I would have had a smartphone and social media when I was in high school, oh man, that would be fucking... It would be horrible to have to, I already got a decent memory. I can remember, all the funny shit, But to have to see it in perfect replay, I don't know. Fuck, who knows? But YouTube, though, is dope. I would have been kind of cool to have back in the day to be able to, all the guitar videos and all that cool shit. I would have been telling my teachers I'm going to be a YouTuber. Oh, we're going to have chat. I would just, I wish I would have just told my teachers there's going to be some fucking shit that's just going to do our homework for us eventually called ChatGPT, and you could just sit on YouTube and make millions of dollars apparently if you have good content, unlike my shit. But, fucking, I don't know where I'm going. I'm just fucking, at this stage, just don't want to drink coffee alone. Actually, you know, 1 and 5, I prefer it. Well, 1 and 5, I'm just go to a coffee place. I'd like for all. I mean, you're like, fuck. Do you have a wife and kids? Fuck. No, no, I don't. You know what I mean? Just fucking. I'm ready for World War III though. You know, do you at this stage do you really tell your kids good morning, or you just tell them, hey, like, get ready, you're gonna get drafted soon? No, no, don't worry. I remember when I was a young kid. You know, my dad was somewhat of a realist, which I loved about him. I'm like, nuke bombs. What do you think, Dad? They're real, son. Calm it down. It's crazy. Our Google back in the day was encyclopedias. You had the encyclopedia somewhere in your house. If you were lucky, you did. That shit wasn't cheap. I'm sure that shit was like probably $100 for the fucking. That's probably like that shit probably costed a few $100s back in the day for the Encyclopedia Britannica fucking stack. But I remember anytime my dad didn't know shit, it was like, son, that's a great question. I'm proud of you coming up with a good question, but I got the answers, but you don't deserve it. Go get it from the encyclopedia. And now I know my dad, and then my dad be like, could you read me the answer real quick? Oh yeah, I fucking knew it already, but I'm like, damn, dude, how does my dad know everything from the encyclopedia? But now, fucking, he got me. But at least it made me. You had to know like what alphabet order was, alphabetical order. I can't even say it right now, but like, do they even make kids do that now? I bet you that shit's probably. It used to piss me off because they would pick the word where it was like you used to have to go all the way down the fucking word to make sure it was just in the it was in alphabetical order. You know what I mean? So we teach you how to fucking use the encyclopedia or anything that we search for in a library or anything. But now you're just like, phone, fucking tell me what to do. I mean, what was this? It builds character if you have to fucking like actually work. And I don't, all right, I got one more. It's pretty much cold now. It's pretty much cold. And all right, I was at a restaurant on Valentine's Day. I'm such a dumbass. I didn't even realize it was Valentine's Day. But I was like, what the fuck's going on? Why is there like so much balloons and shit? And I'm like, oh, okay, fucking, why does everyone seem like grouchy and shit? Well, it was Valentine's Day. The table closest to me, like I'm like directly looking at, the dude is this older guy, like at least 15 years older than me. He's probably only 3 years older than me, but for, how it is so he looked older though, Him and his wife, they were arguing about a remodel on their house. I wish I couldn't fucking hear this shit. Okay, this is, how the higher powers that be give me comedy or sadness, whatever you want to portray it as. So I'm like, stop hearing. I can't hear. I don't want to hear this. And she's telling him like, I don't even understand the remodel and what's the point of extending the ceiling down, and I'm just giving up. Once it's done, I'll buy all the shit that we're going to buy. I'm over it. And I look over, he started crying. Now, there's nothing against crying over here, but vibe killer over here. Dude, really? And I felt like maybe it's the fucking sexist male in me or the dumbass in me, but I feel like, shouldn't she be crying over the remodel? You know what I mean? But I'm glad she wasn't. Fucking, you know what I mean? But dude over here is like, fucking, on Valentine's Day, crying over a fucking remodel. I wanted to throw their fucking chips and sauce on both their faces and give them perspective and be like, hey, what the fuck? Like, you're really going to fight on Valentine's Day? And like, I've been there. You know what I mean? Not on Valentine's Day, but, in those stupid moments where you're arguing over something fucking completely irrelevant to what's really important in life. And this dude's over here crying. Fucking, so, you know what I mean? What, you know what I mean? Oh, I thought I started getting the tears almost. You know what I mean? Every dude started crying. It was fucking horrible. So then, you know, all over a remodel, you know, on Valentine's Day. So I had to get out of that place, right? I go for a walk, and it was crazy. You could see the couples that were having a great time. Fucking awesome. Cheers. There was even couples out with their kids and strollers, smiling, dealing with all that drama, still having a fucking great time, even though that can't be easy to get the fuck kids out of the house. But they did it just for the fucking, you know what I mean? Hoorah for Valentine's Day. But you've seen some couples out there that it was like, dude, you both are fucking grumpy. You just went out because you're supposed to, and you're not even into it or trying to make it into something. And oh man, I don't know if it's because I'm older. I can feel that shit so bad now or so strongly, but I could feel it when I was a kid actually because I was raised in some fucking interesting situations. But again, I'm not complaining, thankful. But oh man, vibe, fuck. Oh, that is sad. That shit sucks. I felt like I should have just fucking got a squirt gun, and every couple I seen with the bad vibe, just squirt them both in the face and tell them, hey, fucking perspective. All right, I'm hitting them. I just don't like the negativity. And it's about what? Valentine's Day. I don't know what the fuck it's supposed to mean. Just buy a big old fucking teddy bear, fucking flowers, and, you know, but shouldn't every day just be like fucking a holiday and just be thankful, welcome, smile, buy chocolates and shit, buy big teddy bears and, you know, just represent your love? I don't, you know, it shouldn't just be, you know, if it's being forced to one day a year and you're grumpy about that, I think you failed at love. It's done. All right, laters. Fucking stay positive, play lots of fucking records, just play music. Stay off the phone a little, you know, off the phone more, hiking. Phone less, hiking more. It took a minute to get out there. So, laters. Stay positive. Bye.